What is going on, guys? It's Shu here, bringing you another review on Boruto. And I gotta say, this chapter was a good setup chapter. We have a lot to discuss, and honestly, I liked it because we can break it down. We have like 3 or 4 different scenarios here in this chapter that I find to be very important. So let's get to it. So we start off with seeing that our boy INOJIN was able to successfully manage the new ability. He was able to do it in less than a day, or in a day. And I gotta give him props for that. Not everyone is able to do stuff like that. And so for him to do it, I can't wait to see it. I'm not gonna lie, I cannot wait to see it. But the best part about this portion of the chapter is that we have INOJIN making it clear that the reason why he's doing this is not because of Boruto. He sees him as an enemy still. He's only doing this for Konoha and for Himawari. And I love how Boruto claps back and says, it's like, I get it, you haven't accepted me, but I haven't accepted you either. And if you hurt Himawari in any way, I will come for your hair. And it's just kind of funny how he does that. But I mean, it's the brotherly, side of Boruto. One side that we don't really get to see much. So I thought that was kind of badass, but giving him a warning, Then we get to see the interrogation with our boy Konohamaru, who honestly has been a disappointment to me. And it wasn't anything great. We see that he's let go. And Sai still has his doubts. He's wondering what's going on. And Sai is the kind of guy that goes by the book. We've seen this in Shippuden, and now he's wanting to know if there was any other situation that was going on between him on the side, and you can't find anything right now. But now the next person to be interrogated is Mitsuki. So we'll see how that goes. Mitsuki doesn't look amused at all, and I wonder what he's actually thinking. We then get to see a good little chunk here between our girl Sumire and our boy Boruto, having this exchange over the blade that she was able to fix, and it looks cool. It's got a major upgrade. We see that this blade has some of her chakra in it, Sasuke's and Boruto's, and it's gonna help him to be able to use this in a much better fashion. And I think that's actually kind of cool because it's also got like an anti-safe feature, which it'll repel with anyone that tries to use it. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of been made into a bit of a scientific ninja tool, which I thought was kind of nice. And, it gives him a moment to share. I like it. So, but a portion of this chapter that I wasn't expecting, and that was between our boys Shikamaru and his son Shikadai. Both of them feeling a bit, conflicted, especially with Shikadai. He doesn't really like seeing Boruto as an ally, and he questions his father. And we see that Shikamaru keeps things clear. It's like he knows that Boruto is an ally conditionally, but he's doing what he needs to do. He's not giving in to any pressure. He believes what he's doing is for the best for Konoha. And so he's like, I need you to trust me. And we see that Shikadai is like, look, I don't want to do this. Not because of, my personal feelings. I want you to order me as, someone to be on Boruto's side. And he feels, I guess, conflicted because Chocho's helping him, and Himawari is also kind of understanding INOJIN. He realizes that his friends are also taking stances, and now he too has to. So we'll see how Shikadai actually responds. I was just kind of surprised that Shikamaru, he's having this conversation with his son right now. We also get to see a little bit of a conversation between Koji and INOJIN. And these two talk about the abilities of seeing the future and how, it could change for the worse. And that's why he doesn't really want to, mention too much. He doesn't want to alter a lot. And that's fair. I get it. And so, he's just being careful. He even talks about possibility of Ada, being captured. So, and we know that with Ada, it's very, I guess you could say, very likely that she might. Mamushi is still after her. So that's the big thing. And I like how we have everyone kind of having this little moment where they're all connecting and having a conversation, just talking, as members of this operation, like it's an underground thing. So I like it. We have all these people gathered together to work against Mamushi. As we know, he is still planning to attack. So, and that's the major thing. And so we actually have Mamushi showing up. He arrives onto the village, and now he's looking for Ada. So we see that Boruto is the first to jump into action, and obviously they're after her, and she's got to be protected. So we'll see what happens with there. But I like how when everyone is jumping into action, Boruto being the first, he's slashing and dashing. We see that Mamushi is not weak. So we see that he kind of struggles a little bit against him, and then the ability of karma actually starts to activate. So we'll see how Boruto is able to manage using karma against a rival such as Mamushi. So that's it for me. I hope you guys have enjoyed. It's a good setup chapter. I can't wait for the next. Let me know what you guys think. I'll catch you later.